Hello everyone, I'm Jane and welcome to this new video. I'm really excited because, well, for two reasons mainly. The first one is that I can show you my real hair. I chose to not go for the wig because I actually like my hair. I like how they are growing up in the back. I like this less in the front way, but thanks God I had this nice hat I really love and I use every time I go out. The second reason I'm excited is that today is the Transgender Day of Remembrance. It's a really important day for us. It's a day we use to remember all the victims of transphobia. And it's a day where we celebrate at the same time the pride of being transgender. This was the Transgender Week of Awareness. I think that if you follow my other channels, you heard me speak about it. And it's a week fully dedicated to speak about transgender topics and to help people also understand what's going on with us, what's the situation of transgender people around the world. Because actually, there's still a lot of transphobia around, there are still a lot of problems that we hope we can start fighting and changing during the future years. So, let's start speaking about how I want to actually celebrate this day. I say celebrate, but actually I think it's something more than just celebrating. It's not like celebrating a birthday party, but it's like how can I say, showing why we are not ashamed of being who we are, and how to feel more sure about ourselves. Because this is what actually happened during the last year when I chose to go to a LGBTQ association in my city during this day, during the Transgender Day of Remembrance. And that day actually started changing some things, because it was the day I started to be myself in a real social context as well, where I introduced myself as a transgender woman, I introduced myself with the name I want to have in society once that I'll be able to start with transition. I want to speak about this day in a really personal way. Speaking about this year, because this year was a really hard year for me as transgender person. Not only because of COVID, but also because I was a transgender person who came out like in November, December 2019, and had to actually deal with all of this in 2020. And it wasn't easy. I'm sure that transgender people came out during this year with themselves, with their family, with their friends. So I think that speaking about this can be helpful for me, of course, because I think that venting in front of a camera, in front of an audience, can actually be helpful, but also for you, because you can relate or not with my story, you can feel less alone, we can share this painful experience because of COVID, but not because we are trans. I don't think that being trans is a painful experience. I think that it's just who I am. And even if it's hard, even if it's challenging, I will never say painful. It can be painful if someone is an ass with you. But just being transgender is not painful. It's something I accepted with a smile. It's something I accepted with a smile. It was hard during the first times because it's like the world is suddenly changing under your feet. But it's not something that scares me. It's not something that I'm like, I wish I could be a cisgender woman. No, it's something I got It's my gender identity, and I'm actually proud of this. And this kind of mindset actually helped me a lot during the quarantine, during the lockdown. It's what actually made me resist at home in front of my family, but still not accepting and misgenders me all the time, because they are still negating all of this. They probably think that sometimes I just forgot this story about being transgender because I don't like to speak with them about this. I only do it with my sister, and she listens me. But like with my mother, it's like speaking with a wall. She's like, okay, get your money with a job, and then you can do whatever you want. And it's true in a certain sense, because actually you need money for doing all of this. I can't do it for free. But at the same time, it's not, it's not really welcoming. It's not like really refilling me with energies. I expect other kind of support from them, but I try to understand their point of view too. I want to try to look at the positive things as well, because a lot of families can actually negate, but a lot of families can be also violent with their LGBTQ kids. Let's say kids, but I'm a bit older than a kid. With my father, I prefer to not speak about this at all, because I know that he wouldn't get it. So I know how you can feel, and actually, I repeat, even if it was hard, even if it's still hard, having this mindset that it's not the face I look at the mirror that says who I am, it's not how I'm going to be during the next years, and it's just a period that has to come to an end. This will not change I'm transgender, this will not change I'm a transgender woman. It's not my voice that says who I am, it's not my actual face that says who I am, it's not how many body hair I have on my body at the moment. And this is true for me, this is true for other transgender people, this is true for everyone who doesn't want to go for HRT, this is true for everyone who know what's their gender identity. You can be cisgender, you can be transgender M2F, you can be transgender F2M, you can be non-binary. Don't allow anyone to say who you are. And this loneliness at the same time helped me at staying with myself. It helped me at changing the dysphoria, the sadness for not having the body I would like to have, in understanding that I'm going to do everything I want to do, because actually I want to go for HRT, I have my plans for my transition and everything, but I also accepted this body, I accepted who I am, and I live with it. I'm not fighting against it, I'm working with it. I'm working to change the things I can change at the moment. I'm working to make my look be a bit more feminine, but I don't think that to be a woman you have to look feminine. Also because I met cisgender girls that, for example, don't like to have a skirt, or who like to have a short hair. Usually short hair are considered masculine, but these are all bullshit. These are society bullshit. You can be who you are, you can dress what you want, you can have the voice you have or you want to have, but just remember that you are the only one who can choose who you are. And if you know who you are, there's nothing that can stop you. And actually, this period was really challenging at the beginning because all the time you hear the words brother, son, male pronouns and stuff like this. It's really hard because it's like you feel like you are in a prison where you can't escape. That a prison that actually chose who you are now and who you are going to be for the rest of your life. But it's not like that, because every time I heard these words, I also understood who I am. I also understood that I didn't like that role, and I could go to my room with my internet friends, because thanks God we live in a era where internet is a thing and it can be a really powerful instrument in our hands. And I could be myself. I could hear people calling me with the name I chose. I could hear people looking at me how I wanted them to look at me. So even if my body doesn't look how I want it to look like, my inner side was actually just already seen as I wanted to. And even if really close people to me and my family still look at me as another person, I still know who I am, and this is everything that matters. I know it's hard. I know that all of us, me at the first in the first line, I would like to go out using she, her, going with dresses or going with other kind of clothes, but not completely changing my wardrobe, because I like I still like my jeans, my nerd shirts, and all this stuff. I repeat, clothes are not clothes are genderless. You can dress everything you want, even if you are cisgender and M2F, F2M, no binary, whatever, whoever you are. And maybe it's because you during this period you have to learn how to live with yourself, because you are actually forced doing it. But I'm really happy that I could come to this conclusion. I would be more happy if I could start with HRT in January, when I actually was planning for it. I could find a job that could actually help me doing everything, but unfortunately, because of the period, it's harder to do that too. I would like to already start HRT, but at the same time, I know that starting it now will be, I wouldn't say more special, but I know that I'm already Jane. I'm already the person I want to be. I am already a transgender woman, and it's not going for surgery, going for hormonal therapy that can change this. That makes me more valid. We are the only one who can choose if we are valid or not. Society or some asshole can try to negate it, but don't allow them to do it. Be proud of yourself. Smile, because you are beautiful. And be trans. If you are trans, be trans. Because we are amazing. We are beautiful. And honestly, saying it right now makes me smile, because I'm happy of being trans. I'm happy I understood it, because it was a long process. It started with a therapist, and I really suggest going to a therapist. If you can still do it now during the quarantine, it's perfect, because this period is not easy. It was proving for me too. And then when you start understanding all these things about yourself, you start putting the pieces of the puzzle, because I think that for all of us, starting in that way, with something that we recognize as, okay, maybe this is not what they are telling me I am. Okay, I like to do this. Okay, I think I feel more myself if I do this instead of this. These are all pieces that you start collecting, and then, or with a therapist. Well, the therapist process, I think it's really important, and I promote it because it's a lot to deal with. So going to a therapist can really help us, and it helps us at dealing with the society too, not only ourselves, with dealing with our family. It's really important. Also, here in Italy, it's also mandatory. Then, I was saying, you start collecting all of these, and at the beginning with a therapist, and then with ourselves, with yourself, you start putting these pieces in the right order, and you figure out who you are. And once you do it, it's amazing because you'll see a beautiful picture, and you enjoy that picture because that picture is yourself. So this is my message for this important day. Be yourself. I know it's hard. I'm here, me and my community, with other fantastic trans people and trans allies. If you want to join our community, you are more than welcome. You can speak with us. If you are alone, if you are starting dealing with all of this, if you have already started with HRT, hormonal therapy, with surgery or everything, remind that you're valid. Don't allow anyone to negate your real identity, to negate who you are. I hope it was a positive conversation, the one we had today. I hope it was helpful. I hope it was I wouldn't say entertaining because this is not like a show. This is my diary, as I said. I hope that you enjoyed this time with me. I'll see you next time with other new contents. I hope you'll enjoy. Jane.